ready to go
Let's
tonight,
call
aren't
this
you?
meeting to order and recording of members present and absent.
McDermott,
Here.
Parker,
Here.
Slater, here, Kane,
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
Read the open meeting compliance statement.
I, the undersigned clerk of the Board of Education of the Alva Independent School District Number 1 of Woods County, Oklahoma, certify that prior to December 15 of the last calendar year, the date, time, and place of this regular meeting was filed in the office of the county clerk of Woods County, Oklahoma. I also certify that at least 24 hours prior to this meeting, excluding Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, notice of the date, time, place, and agenda of this meeting was posted in prominent public view of the location of the meeting. Witness my hand this 5th day of March 2018.
Any addition of items of new business to the agenda?
None.
Minutes of the February 5th regular board meeting, February 7th, 2018 special board meeting, and February 22nd, 2018 special board meeting are attached.
Anybody see any problems there? I
No,
didn't.
sir.
Approval of the treasurer's report on the status of funds and investments.
Well, you can look at the February attachment and see what kind of money we've got. And again, we're in really good shape at this point in time. The interesting is our comparison. So as of today, in our general fund, encumbered over $844,000 more than what we did last year. In the general fund, warrant comparison, we spent $302,000 more. So revenue comparison, general fund, we're actually down $184,000. But yet our gross production's up again, $207,241 compared to $190,000 last month. And the way they're talking, from what I just heard the other day, is that it's still going to go up. And then Terry also did a that general fund revenue comparison and so forth. You can see that we've still got a lot of money to be collected and so forth. Like our vocational program, we've just received 45%. And our Title II money, only 20%. And our special ed, only 52% so far this year. And looking at our totals, we're still in good shape at this point in time in our budgetary year. Any questions on any of the revenue? Treasurer's report?
Approval of the activity fund report.
We will okay a couple of transfers later on that will help some of these activities. LaDonna's got football gate, basketball gate, and concession to put back in these different organizations. So some of the money's down at this point in time, but it will go back up here in a little bit. Most of our activities are in good shape. You can see the football, they've already encumbered some money for next year, and basketball, still in pretty good shape. We did encumber some money last week for the area tournament for overnight stay and meals and so forth. But overall, we're in good shape in our activities. Any questions?
Approval of activity account fundraisers.
Key Club is requesting to help with young boys' funeral expenses. They want to be wearing hats and donation jar and bracelet for t-shirt sales and so forth. They anticipate raising about $400,000.
$400.
$400, excuse me.
Whoa.
Well, I get ready to say that
Great fundraiser.
from the indication at the funeral today, they've already raised $10,000 in that fund to help the young man with his funeral expenses. And the next fundraiser is for the soccer. They're going to have an alumni soccer game in charge and admission and to help with their expenses. Any questions on those?
Approval of function changes.
Don't have any?
Approval of child nutrition report.
You can see the child nutrition report. I will tell you that, again, we're serving about 2,800 lunches more than what we did a year ago. And we're also serving about 405 breakfasts a day compared to a year ago. So, again, our students are eating and so forth at the schools and still getting some of that federal monies in from our efforts on our free and reduced lunches.
Inter-account transfers.
Okay. These are the transfers I was talking about. Basketball and how that is distributed. Basically, basketball gets 2 full games to put in their basketball account. And then football gets 30% and the other sports get 20%. That's been that way for years. So that's the amount of money that will be transferred into the individual accounts. And then in the concession, each organization worked, and so they try to do that equally. So if they have 1 or 2, then they get that. So that's the breakdown on the money from the concession. And then we're going to keep about $10,000 in the concession to start next year's funds to buy supplies and so forth and so on. And then the football, again, basketball gets 30%, the other sports get 20%, so that's the breakdown that each team will get, or each sport will get in those. And those will be transferred after you all approve those into those specific accounts.
We don't need a motion on that, do
Yes, you need a motion
we?
to,
On all of them.
on all of them, yes.
I didn't think that individual.
I move that we approve the consent agenda. Those items referenced in 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.7, and 3.8.
Second.
Hanson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Aye.
Parker,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane.
Aye.
Item 4, vote to approve purchase order encumbrances for the following funds for fiscal year 2018. 4.1, general fund is presented.
If you'll look in that 639 index of Oklahoma, those are some replacement and repair on some emergency fire panel upgrades in the different schools. And then we go down to purchase order 654. Finally had to break down and buy a new high jump mat. We haven't purchased one since 1980. We've been using the original one all these years. And then 676, we had a air conditioner that took care of the kitchen at the middle school and the tech, and it was about 14 tons, so it cost us $21,000. And that's about the third air conditioner down at the middle school that we've had to replace this year. And then 678, Ramtech building, that's for the portable classroom that we need to add at Washington, and that's cheaper than what we paid last year. So, any other questions on any of those encumbrances? And the personnel encumbrances for substitutes and so forth in that area. Building fund. Northwest Electric, that's just supplies and repairs, that'd be an open PO for mostly light bulbs at this point in time. We've had a lot of light bulbs go out in different places.
When one goes, they all go.
I guess they all went in math hall at the high school, because I guess we've replaced every one of those.
It just looks, we haven't done it yet, but, it looks like a cave down there.
I
We
bet
just
it
wanna
does.
brighten it up.
I bet it
Right now,
does.
they've got those recessed lights that, they're can lights that are up in the ceiling, and we wanna put fluorescent lights in and make it, brighten it up a little bit.
Child nutrition?
And then Brandon Comfort Solutions, Lincoln Refrigerator Repairs.
Nothing from the gift fund.
Nothing in the gift.
Principals reports.
We need to vote.
We need to vote on that
sorry.
also.
Oh, wait, I'm just.
Make a
Remind
motion.
me.
Would you get it?
I make a motion,
You
we
better be nice to me.
purchase order encumbrances 4.1, 4.2, and 4.3.
I second.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
McDermott.
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Feely's at an all-star basketball game in Cushing tonight, so I guess we will go with, Mr. Carter, do you have anything to say at this point?
Parent teacher conferences, that's,
Okay. Allison?
And keep it short and sweet, we had parent-teacher conferences last week, and we had a good turnout. We are currently at 98%. We have 4 parents that we are currently contacting and scheduling. I fully plan to be at 100%. But the good news, we are at 100% for the year of at least one parent attending a conference. So I do get to report 100% with the state, but we're hoping to have 100% with this parent-teacher conference as well. The Booster Club takes really good care of us. You know, a big thank you to them and all the parents that feed us. It's very nice to not have to worry about a meal on those days. Also, I just thought I'd share, we did a literacy fair, and these are just some pictures of some of the projects some of the kids did. And we did that, we had it up during parent-teacher conferences, so all the parents could see. We had 36 students participate, 2 pre-K students, 12 second grade, and 19 third grade. And we thought they did a really good job, and we'll recognize those students that participated at our awards assembly at the end of the year. So, I kept it short and sweet.
Mr. Feely asked me to report for him a little bit as well.
Oh, okay.
So he had 96.33% at his conferences. He wanted me to pass along. We had 93%. Yeah, God. We only had 93. So
Yeah, come on.
we're also contacting parents and trying to reschedule and, you know, fit them in during the day or after school or whatever. We're going to repeat Booster Club. Amazing. We had food both nights. Leftovers, so it fed us for lunch the next couple of days. We have a lot of parents supporting us. If you want to know, we had parking upstairs and downstairs. People, you know, kind of did both places, and it went great.
Good.
We had somebody stationed downstairs for those people that wanted to come in at the basement. We had lots of people that still entered the top, and when they saw that they could have entered downstairs, they were a little upset they had to go down all the stairs, but we had a great turnout, and our teachers really put in a lot of effort to give everyone an individualized conference.
What kind of feedback are you getting back from the parents on giving this test information out to them and everything?
Like map test or
Uh-huh.
like state assessment? Really good. Everyone, you know, we hope that they all see growth, but even if they don't, we have answers as to why, and here's the area that they need to work on, which most parents want to know so that they can work at home. And when we can really pinpoint where they're low or what's going on, it tells us the duration of the test, and it can tell us if they were engaged or not. I think parents feel like they get more information from us, so we're getting good feedback on it.
And I think all the schools worked on individual goals. The students visit with their teacher to set individual goals, and they visit with the parents about that as well as a class goal. So
5 years ago, if I was a principal at the high school, I would report that we had 100% of the parents that showed up that night.
We've talked to every parent that showed up tonight. From the first hour, we've talked to 100% of the parents that have shown up.
You guys are real overachievers. Huh?
Thank you, Mr. Parker.
Okay, a few things to talk about. There's been a lot of information on Facebook and on whatever media you want to talk about with all the school shootings. We have met as administrators and talked about our intruder drills and how we can improve those and those types of things. People need to realize now that we have 2 resource officers because of those intruders and so forth in the past. We've got locks on all of our doors. So there are things that we look at each and every year and everything, but the administrators were asked to go back and revisit with our teachers about our intruder drills, make sure that everybody knows where they're supposed to go and so forth. So we're going to be looking at that in the future to see how we can improve on that also. Also, there's a lot of talk about teacher strikes in the state of Oklahoma. I don't know why they would strike at this point in time, because there's not a particular bill as it was back in 1990 when we had 1017. Now, back in 1990, the Alva Public Schools did not strike. We allowed 2 representatives from each school to go down there that day and to be part of that program. I haven't heard of any talk here in our particular schools or with any of our teachers at this point in time to do any of that, so we'll just have to wait and see. I think COSA's having a big meeting tomorrow to discuss all this with OEA and POE and those types of organizations, but until there's a reason to strike, I don't know why, other than just strike, to be honest with you, at this point in time, what it's going to do. Also, we had a grant to work with autism at Washington next Monday night.
Monday night, yes.
Next Monday night, they will present to whatever family wants to come to the middle school. What time?
From 5:30 to 7:30.
5:30 to 7:30 on strategies in behavior and raising children. And Tara Oddie will be here with her cohort, Singletary.
Marissa Singletary.
Okay, so they will be there. So everybody is invited to be there, all the parents. I don't care if you've got a kid in school, if you don't have a kid in school. We want all the parents down at the middle school to listen to these people about strategies and behavior and so forth. And this is all from their autism work and so forth and what has spun from that. So we'd like to invite that, and then we'll get you some more information on that, Lynn, and get you a flyer for that.
I was
You
just
can
gonna
do
ask
that.
how you're getting the word out to the community.
We've done flyers, we're gonna put it on the website, you talked on the phone.
I talked on the
phone,
radio
I'm
this
sorry,
morning.
on the radio this morning, and I'm hoping we could do an all-call too, I'm not sure about that, but, and then high school people and middle school people tonight are handing out flyers. So, and then I sent flyers to all sites.
And the time again?
It's from 5:30 to 7:30.
Thank you.
The flyer's supposed to.
And we'll try to get Mr.
I'm sorry, 5:30 to 7, you're right.
It, like the commons areas, that was gonna be the
Yes.
commons area at the middle school?
Yes. Okay.
Yep, super exciting.
Legislative. House Bill 3291. This is going to require the commissioners of the Land Office Fund to award teacher bonuses determined by the Board of Equalization. This is just another to rob Peter to pay Paul type of situation. I don't know how far it's going to go, but it did get out of the committee, so we will be presented, okay? Other one is Senate Bill 980. This will establish different teacher certifications. You've got your career teacher, you have a mentor teacher, and then also a lead teacher. This would allow local school districts to set up their own pay scale for those types of things. Could be that a lead teacher could be a 12-month employee. So these are things that they're looking, and again, this has not been funded. These four that I'm talking about all have to do with teacher pay raise. Senate Bill 1198 modifies the weight assigned to each grade level of students. Okay, right now we get 1.5 for, let's say, a pre-K and 1 point for a kindergarten. So it's actually changing the school formula. Now I've been to 2 meetings just within the last 3 weeks that says that according to the experts outside our state, that our school formula is okay. But the problem is it has never been funded to the extreme it needs to be. So they're talking about changing the school formula again. And if we were a formula school, this could hurt us in the future. So these are the type of things that they're looking at. House Bill 3539. It amends the teacher minimum salary schedule to get rid of the steps. So right now we have 0 to 25. You have to pay the minimum. You have to pay whatever the teacher made the year before, as long as it didn't change the job responsibility. But those steps, you could pay anything you wanted to. You could pay $1. Well, actually each board in the state of Oklahoma has that right now, because they can go above the state minimum salary and so forth. So I don't know what they're trying to do there, to be honest with you. Give maybe some local schools a little bit more leeway in what they want to do, I don't know. But all this has to do with money, and all of it has to do with the formula to a certain degree. And if they would just fund the formula, I think that all the schools in the state of Oklahoma would be in good shape. And that's according to these experts outside, because we were at meetings last Wednesday, and Mr. Ford and Mr. Rader were there, and also legislative COSA lawyer was talking about all these bills. So those are just some of the bills. All the bills had to come out last week, so now they can be amended, and they got to go to the full vote of the House and then go to the Senate and so forth. So it's still going to be a long process, but they're still talking about teacher pay raises. Right now they don't have anything other than to raise Peter to pay Paul type situation. So it will be interesting to see what happens, to be real honest with you.
5.1, resignations, reassignments received to date.
Okay. As you can see, Mr. Levinson is going to retire at the end of the school year. He still will be a bus driver, though, I believe. And then Shannon Drew is going to resign from cheerleading. And did y'all get a chance to read the Lottie Curtis?
And I just thought that was very creative.
Well, I thought it was too, and then I was informed it was due to Dr. Zeus week.
Mm-hmm.
She had been working with Dr. Zeus all week, so she made up her own. But she was part of the concession and assistant concession. So they are going to resign at that point in time.
Hang on a second, they need to see this.
You can do it. You can do it. They all say you can do it all the way. I would not, could not, I will say. Next school year, not all the way. I would not do it for big pay. To say I may was just for play. I will not do it for the school. I will not be that silly fool. I would not do it here and there. I would not do it anywhere. I do not want concession stand. I do not want it. Understand? A game, a game, a game, a game. Could I, would I for a game? Not for a game, not all the way, not for the school, sorry to say. I will not do it for big pay. I do not want it, hear me say. I will not do it here and there. I will not do it anywhere. I will not do concession stand. I will not do it, understand. I do not want it, hear me say. I tried all the way, but I quit as of today. Very clever. She did thank us, was grateful for the opportunity.
That was one of my smiles.
So we have opened the middle school science up, and it's been posted, and we'll post the cheerleading and
Go
also,
back to school, be a teacher.
okay.
Alrighty. 6, items of current business. Discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the software lease agreement with Municipal Accounting Systems for fiscal year 19.
Municipal accounting does all of our accounting and everything, and we've been involved with them for years, and I'd recommend to the board that we continue with our contract with Municipal Accounting Systems.
You gonna do this individually?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. I'd make the motion that we approve the lease agreement with the municipal accounting system, item 6.1.
A second.
Parker,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
McDermott.
Aye. Discussion with possible board action, vote to approve out-of-state travel for the Alva FFA to attend the livestock judging contest in Fort Scott, Kansas on April 5th and 6th, 2018, and Hutchinson, Kansas on April 11th, 2018.
And both of those events we went to last year, so I'd recommend to the board that we approve that also.
So moved.
Second.
Parker,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
McDermott,
Aye.
Hanson.
Yes.
6.3, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the school calendar for 2018-19.
Do y'all have any questions over this?
I appreciate having it early so we can look at it, but thank you, no question.
One reason is start early. Teachers want to get everything they possibly can get in before the testing. The other things that we've added professional development because of all of the things that we're doing and that we will continue to do in our school district with curriculum alignment and those types of things. There's also a possibility that we may have to go to another student information system next year. Ours was purchased by Power School. So within a year, we're gonna have to go to Power School, we're gonna have to change. Right now, municipal accounting has one, and over 400 schools in the state of Oklahoma have it. And we've looked at it because when we have problems with all of our accreditation reports, it's because of the wave doesn't connect to the student information that we have, but it does, the municipal accounting, and also because they have over 400, they get fixed first. So we're looking at that, so we may have to have additional professional development days so that our teachers are ready to use those the first day of school. But we've talked to our faculty and we've talked, probably 3 months in this calendar and so forth, and this is what we think is the best for our students and our faculty. So I would recommend to the board that we approve this calendar for the 2018-2019 school year.
When did we start this current school year? When was it started?
8,
So this is before that.
a little bit.
And that's probably the premise is more time before testing.
Full week at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Do we
A
lose?
lot of schools are doing that.
Is there any, are we teaching the same amount of hours?
Yes. Yes.
I would make the motion that we approve the school calendar presented for 2018, 2019.
Second.
Hanson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Aye.
Parker,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
6.4, discussion with possible board action, vote to grant Cotton Gallery Ltd. the license to manufacture and or sell apparel bearing our school name and logos, including trademarks or copyrighted material.
And this allows Walmart stores to sell our Go Bug t-shirts and so forth. And this is a contract that we've had for, I would say the last 5 years, I know for sure. So I would recommend to the board that we approve this contract.
Make a motion that we approve contract.
I would second that.
McDermott,
Aye.
Parker,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
6.5, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve agreement with OKTLE for 2018-19 fiscal year.
OKTLA is our evaluation instrument, and we have to choose one. And this is the one that we chose years ago, and we're happy with it. So I'd recommend to the board that we continue the OKTLA evaluation form.
So moved.
Second.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Aye.
Parker.
6.6, discussion with possible board action, vote to enter into an agreement with an architectural firm for future building projects.
A month ago, we had Tri-Arc and also Williams Boynton come in and give you all a spiel on that. And have you all had time to look and decide on which one you wanted?
We discussed them presenting something other, some other concept. Have they mentioned anything further to you about any plans, visual plans?
Are you talking about Boynton Williams?
Yes.
No, we haven't went back to them again. We talked about possibly giving them some ideas of what we wanted.
But that we never did anything.
We have not. If we still have time to do that, if we want to do that. We did get a little bit of additional information from the other firm, basically just some more drawings of the same thing that they presented that day. Not additional information, just better drawings. It has been suggested by some that we do give Boynton Williams some specifics for them to maybe draw something up as well. So look at them side by side. Do we want to do that? Do we want to talk about it? Do we want to vote on what we have available?
I thought we had one firm come in that was well prepared and helped us come up with a vision. And they were allowed less time to present. I mean, I was impressed with their work.
Their fee is less.
Mm-hmm.
Overall fee, that's one thing. Boynton Williams, I'm just throwing out both things because I think they did a great job too. Has done some buildings in our area and some we've been to see that are beautiful, beautiful structures. They just didn't prepare for us like the other company prepared for us. And so their excuse was they wanted to visit with us about what we wanted before they put something together. And we have not done that yet. I haven't, Ms. Parker said neither.
Both companies were presented what we wanted. We walked around. They said they could come up with different ideas and so forth.
Gotcha, okay.
What we told both of them is that we were looking for a fine arts building and maybe some parking and so forth, and we wanted to tie it into the auditorium. Can we do it in the horseshoe there by the office? Can we do it out in front? So they came up with that drawing and presented it to us.
It's beautiful. We talked about between the buildings, they said some of them, there wasn't room there,
Right.
so, what's your pleasure?
Well, I would make a motion that we enter into an agreement with Tri-Arc.
Second.
McDermott,
Aye?
Parker,
Aye.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
Seven, discussion with possible board action, vote to approve the revised extra duty assignments for fiscal year 18.
Looking over all of our assignments and everything, we realized that we did not have a head track coach for the middle school because we had one leave, so we'd like to recommend to the board Michael Sklar be the head track coach at the middle school. He did a lot of this on his own last year, helped both middle school and high school, and that's the only change that we have on this at this point in time.
Does the second column, excuse me, does the second column reflect all of his extra duty pay? Is that what that is?
Yeah, let me go back.
Okay, I got to the top, yeah, when you say total, I was just wanting to know. Was that the total we, yeah, I figured, yeah, it does, I'm sorry.
Is he the head coach for the girls?
Both middle school, girls and boys.
We have, Pete Phillips up there as head coach, middle school boys.
That should be high school boys. No, you're right. I'm sorry, girls. I'm sorry. You're right. Pete is middle school boys because Taylor Swift figures high school. You're right. Should be girls.
Is it okay, or do we need to amend the document?
And is it, why would we pay someone more for middle school girls than we would middle school boys?
Are we?
I believe so.
220.
Years of experience, maybe. We can bring these back to you and get that worked out. Because we can pay them later. And look at that.
Has someone been filling in for Coach Phillips? Probably while they were still basketball, probably.
I think it's years of experience more than anything else, because Mike Sklar has coached for more years, and you get that .035 factor that's involved in it also, with years of experience. Because he was a track coach up at Pratt and out at Parrott and so forth.
Understand.
So, but if you want me to, I'll look into that. But that should be girls' coach, and I can look into that other. And we can do this next month.
If we can just amend it, if you want us to amend it,
Be fine.
way you go. Just approve it with that amendment on it. All you have to do is add girls.
Right.
Are we okay with that?
Okay.
Since we're just looking at it again, I don't think. Okay. 6A, discussion with possible board action.
Need to vote on that.
Sorry, I'm just.
Motion.
We're
And the motion needs to have the amendment to that also, please.
A motion?
I move that we approve the extra duty assignments for fiscal year 18, and also add on Coach Sklar's that it's the middle school girls.
Second.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
McDermott.
6A, discussion with possible board action, vote to renew employment of certified teachers listed on Exhibit B for the 2018-19 school year.
And you can see that's divided up to what we used to call career teachers and then 1 year temporary contract for the next year. All of these teachers come with principal approval, where they would have had a plan of improvement and so forth. So I would recommend to the board that they approve this list as presented.
I would make the motion that we approve to vote to renew employment of certified teachers listed on the Exhibit B for 2018-2019 school year.
Second?
Hanson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Aye.
Parker,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes.
6.9, discussion with possible board action vote to approve an offer of employment on a one-year temporary contract to applicant 1, certified teacher, and applicant number 2, certified teacher for fiscal year 19.
We have 2 math positions open in our school system at this point in time due to a 1-year temporary contract and the illness of Mr. Smith. And we would like to make a recommendation to hire Dakota Buckles, who's been teaching Alene Cleo for the last 2 years. Grew up in Buffalo, Oklahoma. Anything you would like to say, Mr. Potter?
No, he obviously, his wife teaches at the high school now, and she's outstanding, and he's the other half to that. I'm not sure he's the better half, but he is the other half to that, and we would like to hire him and have him come aboard and do that. He seems to do an outstanding job, got a really good grasp of classroom management and different things when we talk to him, and so he would be a welcome addition to our school.
Mindy White comes from Boise City, Oklahoma, 25 years of experience. She is the mother of Jaden Collins, and they're wanting to move back because of the grandkids and so forth. She's been involved in student council, cheerleading, golf, concessions, and everything, and comes in with a lot of knowledge.
She's seems awesome. Like I said, I have met her a couple of different times. We met her at textbook workshop, and I talked to her there for about 20 minutes or so, just informally in the hallway. And she's real involved in math textbooks and curriculum and those things. And so then we brought her in and interviewed her, and she kind of expanded on those things. And very, very knowledgeable about upper level math, and willing to do anything. I mean, obviously that's what she does. She's taught a long time, and she said, "I'll do whatever you ask me to do."
By hiring both of these applicants, does it secure and concrete the math opportunities available at Alva High School? They have the credentials to teach the classes the kids are needing, is my
You
question.
know, it's a proven fact that 4 out of 3 people struggle with math. These 2 don't. So,
Need to work on it. No, he didn't answer my question.
so
Yes, thank you.
they do a great job with that. And we don't know exactly where everybody's going to fit in the whole piece of the puzzle yet.
Sure.
You know, Dakota may end up at the middle school.
Dakota, what are your certifications? All the way up through
I can go all the way up.
trig
to
and calculus
trig
and all that?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
I teach all the way up to math and finance, which is what we use as our 4th math at Alene. That's what a lot of our college-ready kids will take, and it's a lot of projects, hands-on things.
And I think Mrs. White, as a mom, I think she's even taught Panhandle State as a math teacher out there also. You've known her for a lot of years
Yeah.
at student council.
She's the math department at Boise City, so you're gonna be, we'll her. Because I think she does it all, but
We actually tried to hire Dakota a year ago, but we didn't know about it until after the fact that Ali Cleo wouldn't let him out of his contract.
stuck with it.
That's all right.
And that's what I was just making sure that we, because whether we can
Yeah.
teach, that those
The
options.
thing I
are
like
there.
about it is we're getting real math teachers in every grade level. I mean, from
Thank you.
6th grade to 12th grade, we're going to have people that are experts in that field, and that's what our kids will just do nothing to benefit from that.
You bet,
So
you bet. Thank you.
Motion for-
I would make a motion that we hire Dakota Buckholt and Holtz.
Buck Halts.
Thank you, Holtz. I'm gonna practice that. And Mindy White as a temporary contract for Alva Public Schools math department.
I'll second
Hanson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Aye.
Parker,
Yes.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane.
Yes,
Welcome. Thank you for
congratulations.
coming.
Thank you.
Did you already
Thank
get
you
your
for
picture?
waiting.
Proposed executive session to discuss employee staffing for fiscal year 19, 25, Oklahoma State Statute 307B1.
Second.
McDermott,
Aye.
Parker,
Thank you.
Slater,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.